Hi there, it's Sandra from Savvy Teaching Tips. Today I want to talk about how I introduce decodable text to first graders. Basically, I'm going to share with you what a typical lesson would look like with my first graders in my own classroom. If you want me to create more videos like this, please like and subscribe below and ring the bell for notifications of all my upcoming videos. So a decodable text is a text that's largely decodable. This means the students can decode the words in the text using the phonics skills that they already know or are currently learning. Decodable readers are phonics based and will have a focus skill that you are teaching alongside with it. Many of the words in that text will have that focus skill that you are teaching. The other words in the text will have other focus skills that the kids have already learned, and some high-frequency words or sight words that your kids already know. So to consider text decodable, about 75% of the words in the text are decodable. There are lots of great decodable readers on TPT. You can get them from Pearson, you can get them from phonicsbooks.com, but I have them in my own store, lots of great ones out there. When you're teaching a phonics lesson, you can do that with a whole group. But when you're using decodable readers and passages, it's better in a small group setting so you can hear kids reading. So here's what I would do. First, review the target skill. Do it before they see the text. You can use a whiteboard, write the word with the focus skill, get the kids to read it out loud in isolation. You only need to take a few minutes to do this. You're warming the kids up. You can also pre-teach some tricky words or some high-frequency words like names. Things like that are hard for kids sometimes. Now, second thing I do is I'll get the book out, look at the cover, and predict what the story will be about. We're activating prior knowledge, we're working on comprehension. Ask the kids a few questions. What do you think the story's going to be about? Who do you think this is? Number 3, read the text. Now make sure you can hear individual children reading. Once they've read it through one time, get them to read it again in a whispery voice. So you could read it together as a group, do echo reading where you read and they repeat, choral reading when we read together. Sometimes I don't even read it with it. I give the kids a book to take it. I tell them, take the book to a quiet place, sit by yourselves. If you don't know a word, skip the word, keep going, because every kid reads at a different pace. What this does is this allows them to disperse and come back in a staggered manner. So as they come back, I start listening to them read the story again, and I can hear them one-on-one. This way they're not copying off the people around them. They're actually trying to decode it in front of you. The next activity is we're going to find the decodable words in the text. So if you're using a photocopied passage, the kids can use a highlighter and actually go through the book. But if you're using a real book, you can do it as a small group lesson. So go through the book and kids will say, oh, this word, and the teacher will write it on the whiteboard. So you'll end up with a list of decodable words, and then you can read it together. Then finally, what I get them to do is I ask them some questions about the text, and then I get them to take the book and put it in their book bag. So some people use book bins. I use book bags, and that's where I'll talk about that in a later lesson. Later in the day, when the whole class is doing silent reading, I pull my struggling readers to read their stories to me one-on-one. This gives me another chance to hear how they're reading. If they're really struggling, then I can introduce, we can go over the skill again. And as the week progresses, maybe I'll introduce next week's book so that they have a head start on reading the new text. So little things like this. When you're trying to read one-on-one with a student, it's often hard to fit that into your classroom time with all the other kids have needs too. For me, that's why I teach them silent reading, where they are not allowed to get out of their seat for 15 minutes. They are not allowed to even ask to go to the bathroom and get a drink for 15 minutes. And this trains them that they need to be independent for that 15 minutes. That gives me a chance to read with the kids that need extra help or work on other things in the class. It's not the only time I do it. Sometimes I'll pull them up, maybe if we're doing centers time or an art activity that doesn't need a lot of a one-on-one, maybe a journal activity if it's something that the kids can do independently. And that's how I introduce and teach lessons with decodable readers. So thanks for stopping by, and don't forget to check out my Facebook and my Instagram at Savvy Teaching Tips, and my TikTok at Savvy Teaching. That's all for now. Bye.